Hey, cuz, how you doing? Glad you are here. I'm excited to be here because it's my birthday. I I've turned 52 today, and I'm just I'm just very appreciative that the Lord has blessed me to see another year. And so um, I'm here at Dropping the Bucket Studios, and we are excited. Welcome, welcome. Y'all doing all right? Awesome, awesome. Glad that you were able to make it here. As I celebrate, just any have a seat anywhere, whatever's comfortable. Um, we have some serious issues that we're facing as a nation, and especially as a black people. And um, I've been privileged to um, I've been privileged to be able to see and recognize some things. I just started. Hey, Cynthia, good to see you. Glad you were able to tune in. And I want y'all to ask me questions. So if y'all have any questions, I want y'all to those in that's in the studio. I want you to feel free to join in, ask questions, things that you don't understand. If you got anything that I say that don't make sense and you want clarity, feel free to do that because I'm about to share some things that's really life changing if you would take hold of it. I'm reading this book right now that's called Black Labor, White Wealth, and it's by Claude Anderson. And he really breaks it down on our history and how that we have been um, conditioned in the place that we are now. So we as a race are in a specific place in America, and we are viewed a specific way, and we uh, operate in a self-fulfilling prophecy. So what they expect from us, that's what we give them. And a lot of times we don't see our way out of the situation because we're so entrenched in the situation. And so, one of the things that Claude Anderson talks about is that if we're going to really change our situation, we really have to get economically sound. And that's the only way that we're going to make it better from make our situation better as African Americans. So, being a Christian and a man of God, I have to love everybody, right? I'm called to love everybody. I'm commanded to love everybody. But there's a flight of and a plight of African Americans and Africans around the globe that I believe that I've been called to at this time in this space in my life. And so I take it very serious, and I don't take it lightly. And it's not ironic that I'm writing a book right now that's called Outcast, but Chosen. And God got me dissecting Exodus and talking about Moses coming out, getting prepared to bring the children of Israel out of Egypt, right? And they were in bondage for, guess what, 400 years in Egypt. And how long we been in bondage? For about 400 years in America. And so, um, and now I'm just in awe of what God is doing. I'm just in awe of what God is doing. And so, about a year ago, the Lord told me, uh, "What's the link? You're on the link. You can just watch on Facebook. If you want to comment in Aaliyah, then I can bring you in. But definitely, um, you're in a good place to hear what's going on. And if you have any questions, you can post them there as well. And so I want to do this on a weekly basis. I want to come together and I want to talk about this subject of the plight of African Americans and Africans around the globe, and really make a difference. And we gotta impact our if we want to change, we got to take an economic stance, right? That's the only way that we're going to make a difference. Because if I'm successful and I'm driving a Bentley, right, in these streets, I'm still NIGGA when they pull me over, right? And they thinking some kind of way about me because of the color of my skin. And even if I make it, what about the not I shouldn't even say if, that's a curse word. When I make it and I'm able to drive that, what about the rest of my people? Let's really talk about it. And let's just think about Black Lives Matter, right? That's our recent movement that we had. What were we focused on in that movement? What was we focused on? What was that movement all about, really? Right, protecting the community, protecting us, and not thank you, uh, not getting killed in the street. Stop killing us for no apparent reason. You're killing us for no apparent reason, and so we pushed back. We started rioting. We started tearing stuff up. We started marching. Why? Because they were killing us for no reason. Has that changed anything? Yeah, we have got some changes, right? We see some major corporations. They're now saying things about blacks and trying to include us in things, and so that's good. But our poverty rate is still the same. For the last 100 years, our poverty rate hasn't changed. And so, what's really going to change our poverty rate is that we do something economically sound and we really make a change with this, because money matters. Money matters. And the reason why we were enslaved is because we could do the work. We can do the work, that the agricultural work that was here in America, we could do that work. And so they came and they brought us here and they tried to take every sense of dignity from us and separate us so that they could use us to empower themselves. And guess what? The same thing is going on now. They just doing it in a different way. They doing it in a different way. And I know that's probably like, man, you celebrating your birthday talking about something like this. I wouldn't want to be talking about nothing else. Because if we don't do something and we don't do something significant, then who is? Dr. Claude Anderson, he talks about he talks about how our how the different races try, and different I guess what you would say causes try to align themselves with African American, like the feminist, right? If they're handicapped, the gay and lesbian community, they try to use the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment and say that it's for them as well. Okay. Which, hey, that can be arguably fine, but originally it wasn't created for them. It was created for African Americans to come up out of slavery, right? And when we don't view what's going on, and we allow um, the plight of African Americans to be intertwined with these other pushes for change, then we are diluted. And what's happened to us, because some people feel that, hey, affirmative action is not applicable right now. You have equal opportunity. And do we? We had a black president, you know, and I thank God for that. But has it changed the needle? Has it moved the needle of poverty in our community? Something has to happen. Something has to give. And so I was talking to a young man, and I love talking to college students. And it was a couple of Christmases ago, and I had an opportunity to talk to him. And I said, "Man, what's your Facebook? Let me follow you on Facebook." And he said, "Man, you might not want to follow me because I'm kind of radical." And I said, "Radical how?" And he said, I talk about out against social justice, injustice. And I said, "Oh yeah." And so we started talking more about it. And then he asked me a question. He said, "How are we going to solve this systemic racism? How are we going to solve it?" And I said, "You know what? It's so entrenched in every sense, in every aspect of our culture. What we will have to do is be able to operate on another level, on another system where they can't touch us. Because soon as we start making real moves, they'll shut down our bank accounts. The IRS will come after us. All kinds of stuff will happen because we want to make a difference, right? And we are speaking out against injustice. And so I said, we have to operate on another system. And at that time, I didn't know of another system. But then I found out about the blockchain. And I said, look at God. The blockchain. The blockchain is a decentralized platform where the color of your skin don't matter. And the only way that they know what color of skin you have is that you reveal that. And you don't have to reveal it. You don't have to show who you are at all to operate on the blockchain. And so I was like, God, this is it. And that's where everything is moving. It's moving to the blockchain. And you might say, hey, what is the blockchain? Well, the blockchain, if you know about Bitcoin operates on the blockchain. And right now, Bitcoin is down, but it's about I think yesterday it was like $36,000 for one Bitcoin. And so the blockchain is the technology that the Bitcoin operates off of. All right. And what it is a lot of computers, thousands and thousands of computers with a ledger that verifies everything that happens on the big blockchain. Okay. So if I have a Bitcoin, say my brother over here has 3 Bitcoins. Okay. He sells me one, and then he goes and tries to sell this lovely couple over here 3. Well, the blockchain verifies all these computers, verify every transaction at the same time. They call miners. Everybody, different computers, they mine that transaction. And they's like, bro, you only got 2 left because you sold this one. And so they'll block it, they'll stop it, and they say, no, you cannot make that transaction. And so one of the beautiful things about the blockchain is very hard to hack, right? Because what has to happen, you got to hack all these computers at the same time, and they are spread out all around the world. because they got miners all around the world. And so it's impossible to hack. Are people out there, they're doing stuff with the blockchain? Yes, they are. They're scammers out there, but they cannot hack the blockchain itself. They have to get you going or coming off the blockchain. Okay, that's how they'll have to get you. But this technology is decentralized. That means no government is controlling it. Okay, it allows you to do transactions all over the world, and they don't have to know the color of your skin. They don't have to know your background. They don't have to know your credit score. If you got the goods that they want and they got the money, y'all can enter into agreement and everything is verified. And when the transaction happens, the money happens. The money is transferred. One of the main things with the blockchain, you have smart contracts. Smart contracts are contracts that agree on what you want to happen. So say if you sold brooms and I wanted to purchase some brooms. And so I wanted to purchase 1,000 brooms to sell in my store or my stores around the nation. And I see that you have these brooms. I don't really know you, but I know that looking at the blockchain that you have these brooms for sale. And so in my digital wallet, a digital wallet is basically your own bank, and you have total control over your money. And so I show you that I have the money to purchase your brooms. So that's transparent. Okay. I see the brooms and I see you see my money. We enter a smart contract and we have the delivery source in the smart contract as well. And so when all the points of the smart contract is met, the money will transfer. So the driver or whatever mode that I was getting delivered the brooms with, it all happens and they'll get paid. I get my brooms and you'll get your money. And in this smart contract, you can put the Internet of Things, which is like Internet of Things is like my watch. I got a smart watch. Okay. So if I go to the store and I want to purchase something and they have a machine that can take Apple Pay or Google Pay or whatever, I just click my watch and I pay. So I don't have to carry cash on me if I don't want to. Okay. We can, so when your brooms hit my location, it can have a GPS tracker on it, which is an Internet of Things. As soon as that GPS tracker hit my location, money transfers, the driver gets paid for dropping off the load. Everything that was in the contract was met. All monies are transferred at that point. And so there's no middleman. It's just the blockchain. And you have to pay to be on the blockchain, but the fees are very small compared to the fees that we pay for banking. And nobody can come on. You know, I grew up on the south side of Chicago, right? And you talking about gangster. Chicago is gangster. We know that they known for gangsterish stuff. But if you behind on your parking tickets and you didn't pay your parking ticket, they'll go in your bank account and take their money. And you can't do nothing about it. I'm like, what? Go in your bank account? I'm like, that's straight up gangster right there. And so on the blockchain, you can't do that. So you got a private key and you got a public key in your digital wallet, which is your own bank, and you control your money. All right. And so with the public key, I can put out there what I want to see, what you want to see, but the blockchain verifies that it is that. right? And so when you're looking for the money that you need, you can see it because I made it public. Then I got a private key that I need to hold on to that I can't share with anybody unless I want them to have access to my money. And so it's a bad system. It's an awesome system where we can control our own money. And um and I'm just touching the surface of what this technology can do. And so if you have questions, thank you for the birthday love wishes. If you have questions, feel free to ask questions. Just drop them in the chat. If you're in the audience, you can definitely ask your questions. But this is it. You know, this week, was it this week or last week? I think it was Monday that I found out about it. Chase just went into the metaverse. And Chase said that they brought property in the metaverse, and they said that it's a $1 trillion industry. And guess what the metaverse is? It's on the blockchain. The metaverse is like virtual reality. Okay. And right now they have property. Thank you. Right now they have property in the metaverse that you can purchase. So this location right here is if it's not in the metaverse, it's going to be in the metaverse. And so you can have a digital address and you can have a physical address in the metaverse. And so right now I'm in a process. I have a corporation and I have some members with me in this corporation, and we're building our own blockchain. Right. And we're going to control our own destiny. And so that's one of the things. And once we build ours, I want to help others build theirs. Because this system ain't going nowhere. They just showing. Matter of fact, Facebook, they just changed their name recently to Meta. Why? For metaverse. Right? Because they're moving. If you notice on Facebook now, they got gaming as an icon that you can press on and play on the metaverse. So it's here. It's here. They got a card. It's a credit card. It's called Save, and it's over in the Bahamas. They're opening it up in the Bahamas. And on this credit card, it's a digital currency. It's a cryptocurrency credit card, and Apple, Tesla, and it's a few other companies that said that, hey, if you have this Save card, you get a discount from buying from us. And so what you're talking about, these major companies, Apple crushing the game right now, Tesla crushing the game right now. And they're saying Chase is crushing the game right now. And they're putting money into the blockchain. And decentralized finance, DeFi, you'll hear about that. DeFi is what cryptocurrency is, and how you can have your own digital wallet. You can have your own digital bank and have control over that. Decentralized finance. What it does, it cuts out the middleman. And so you don't have to go to the bank and say, can you please, sir, ma'am, loan me some money? With decentralized finance, you can have, say you got $20,000 worth of Bitcoin. You can put $15,000 of your Bitcoin up and say, hey, give me $10,000 loan. And they give you a $10,000 loan because they know if you default on their loan, they're going to get that $15,000 worth of Bitcoin. We know that Bitcoin is vital and it goes up and down, but there is such as called a stable coin. And after a while, it's not going to be so that the more blockchains are created and the more computers are on the network and people are doing business on there, the stronger it's going to be. And so talking about the advancement of African Americans. This is a system that we can use to really control our own destiny, to really say, you know what? I don't have to worry about you. I don't have to do business with you. I can do business all around the world, and they don't care the color of my skin. They don't. I have an equal playing field. And so that's what's exciting to me. And so this is why I want to do this on a weekly basis. I want to come together. I want to talk. I want to educate. I want to share this information. I want to get you all involved and showing you how to use this system. Because the more of us that uses this system, the better off we'll all be, and our children will be, and our children's children will be. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to leave an inheritance. But they're not letting us. They're not letting us do what we need to do. There's always roadblocks thrown up. You know, I had an opportunity to do prison ministry on the other day, yesterday. And so I was telling them about, the blockchain. I've been talking to them. I go weekly, and I've been talking to them about blockchain and everything like that because, with a felony background, you're limited on what you can do. But with the blockchain, it don't matter, right? It's not ironic that 50%. I don't have all the statistics right now, but I'm gonna get them and I'm gonna document it. Black labor and white wealth. He does have some statistics of this, but we know that there's a very high and unproportionate percentage of Black males that's incarcerated all across America, right? And even in the most recent case where the white lady killed the Black young man, 20-year-old, and she said it was a mistake. She thought she was reaching for a taser. Well, in that same court, just a few years ago, a Black man did the same thing. Guess how he got 12 years, she got 2. Same thing. So that's a problem. And if we don't do something about it, our kids are going to be affected. And here in Texas and probably some other states as well, if I get into a domestic dispute, right, and the police comes out, and if they want to arrest me, they can. Even if I got abused, they still can arrest me. And if the person that I got in the dispute with say I'm gonna drop the charges, the state will pick it up. No, we got you, bro. You ain't going nowhere. What kind of mess is that? Well, she said she ain't gonna drop no. It was a mistake. She shouldn't have did that. That it didn't happen that way. Because the neighbors could have called. It don't matter. But because of the color of my skin, I could be locked up. And now I got a record, and now it's affecting everything that I do every day. How I move around in this country. Am I talking the truth, or I'm just I'm just talking a bunch of stuff? It's real. We're living this reality. And everything that our society gives us, we pretty much accept. We know that it's not right, but we just don't know what to do with it. When we do have a movement, it's not about the economic advancement of the colored people. It's about stop killing us in the street. It's about let us use the same restaurants that you're using. Let us use the same restroom that you're using. It's like, let us go to the same schools that you're going to. All that is good, but it's not moving the needle of the poverty rate in our communities across the nation. And the only thing that's going to move it is we get some economical power and start making some changes around this joint. That's the only way. And this blockchain technology is a way. You know, um, they got virtual gaming. Y'all heard of NFTs? NFTs is just, you haven't heard of NFTs? NFTs is just popping. If you had an opportunity to watch the NBA, um, what you call All-Star weekend, and the dunk contest, one of the young men put an NFT around his neck, and he showed his digital art on display. They're spending thousands and millions of dollars on NFTs. NFT is a non-fungible token, right? And it was primarily made for art. That's how it started off. And so if you were an artist, you can make some digital art and you'll put a number behind that art and saying that, hey, this isn't an original. And people will buy that art. And you can put it in a smart contract that every time that art is sold, you get a piece of that money that's transferred, because you can put it in a smart contract. Okay, so NFT is a non-fungible token, and everything now can be an NFT, pretty much. A deed to my house can be an NFT. They're putting NFTs in cars now, where you every time, like Carfax, it can be an NFT, and you have to go to a certain dealer to work on your car, so that when you're ready to trade your car in, it holds more value because that information is validated on the blockchain. And so if they put that on the blockchain, it's like, yeah, they are authorized, and all that information goes around, and then it all agrees that this is the right information. And so you can have digital real estate, and it's the form of NFTs. It's a non-fungible token. So just to come in here, I could have gave you an NFT and say, you can come into my studio on this day and you can use this NFT to come in here. And that could be in your digital wallet. So you gave me your digital currency, and I sent you a NFT to show that you came in here, and I could have had an Internet of Things right there to check your NFT at the door and scan and say, hey, is this original or not? This is how technology is. And I'm trying to break it down simply so that you all can, really get it. But it's going to evolve. We're at the beginning stages of it. And if we're really going to advance as a people, this is, I believe, the one thing that's out here that's not going anywhere, that we must understand and we must get involved in if we want to see a change in America and around this world with the people of color. We're going to have to do it. We're going to have to come together. We're so separated. I want to tell a story. I was my favorite restaurant, one of my favorite restaurants. I'm a food connoisseur. That's why I'm kind of got some girth on me. And I went to a restaurant, all black owned restaurant, and I brought some food. I brought a turkey leg, and it wasn't turkey leg hut or anything like that, but I brought a turkey leg. And I told the owner, I said, hey, this turkey leg was really good on one side, but the other side was so salty I couldn't eat it. And the lady, the owner of the restaurant, told me, well, I brought that from someone else. And I was like, that don't mean nothing to me. But that was her excuse. And she didn't want to do anything about my salty food because she purchased this from somebody else. And you know what? I said to myself, that's the last time I'm going to put my money in that place. And I walked out angry. But I had to repent. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go back, because that's one of my black-owned businesses. You know that it said that in the African American community, the money um, the money only lasts like 7 seconds in the African American community. And in the Asian community, it might last 7 to 9 days. Why? Because they spend money with each other. They spend money with each other. The money goes here, that goes there, and everybody gets to advance off of that same money. But as soon as we get some money, it, even if we stay in our community, the stores that we buy at is not our stores. And so I said, you know what? I got to give my sister another chance, because truly, I think that was just ignorance. Because there's no way that you can tell me that and really understand business. That you purchase it from somewhere else. Well, that's how most things go. But I purchased it from you, so you need to make it good with me if you want me to be a regular customer. But a lot of things we do out of ignorance. And so we get it twisted because we look at ignorance as stupidity, but they two different things. They two different things, and we got to start looking at it as two different things. So one of the guys, when I was in prison, he said, your credit score is not a roadblock at this time, and you're doing NFTs and EFTs. Okay, I'm not familiar with EFTs, but yes, your credit score is not a roadblock with NFTs and on the blockchain. And everything is going this way. And if we sleep on it, shame on us. And so that's why on my 52nd birthday, I came and I said, I want to talk about this. I'm going to get started. And I don't care if nobody shows up. It's going to be recorded that Antoine Turner, just Antoine, got on a live and talked about this stuff and tried to inform his people and tried to get them involved in the movement. You know, 7 years ago, I told some of my buddies, some of my people, and what's up, bro, Tyree? I told some people, I said, you know what? Everybody's going to have an app. I said, McDonald's going to have an app. Everybody's going to have an app. The stores you buy stuff at, they're going to have an app. And guess what I did? I put money in trying to get me an app. And, you know, I was just starting off my security company. I was probably about a year in, maybe. Had been in the industry for a couple of years. And I put about $6 grand up, and they kept on asking for money. I ran out of money. I still got the display over it. I can pull it up on my phone. I still got the creation that they had made for me. But I said, I seen it. And I said, if I get involved, I'm going to be a rich man. Guess what? I lost out on that one. But I ain't losing out on this one. And it ain't going nowhere. Everybody got an app, don't they? Everybody got an app. And if they don't have one, they're going to get one before this all over with. And they paying somebody to operate their app. Everybody's going to be on the blockchain. Everybody's going to have a digital wallet. I seen on Instagram where Snoop's son, he was talking to his mentor, and he said, I just made $1 million. He showed him his phone. I just made $1 million selling NFTs. He said, what? The last time we talked, you sold something for $10,000. He said, no, but I'm telling you, I just made $1 million. When I was in California, they showed him at a Lakers game, not a Lakers game. Well, it might have been a Lakers game, and he was saying that, you know, NFT is going to be everywhere. He said this game that I'm at the ticket's going to be an NFT. He said y'all might as well get ready for it. He has a game out, and they were advertising his game on the news. He has a game out that you can play to earn. So you can play to earn games. I needed to get some water. You can play to earn cryptocurrency. You can play games to earn cryptocurrency. And then you can turn the cryptocurrency into cash. Thank you, Miss Jackie. You can turn cryptocurrency into cash. So you can earn money by playing games. So I said, what if I can teach my kids to play games to earn money and get off those streets selling them drugs where they can get get snuffed out in a matter of seconds with a drive-by, putting poison in the streets just to try to feed the family. What you mean I can play a game and earn some money? Mama, don't worry about the rent this month. I got you. I just sold one of my NFTs, or I just reached a level in this game. I ain't telling you something that's not happening. It's going down now. It's happening now. It's being done now. But guess what? A lot of us don't know about it. A lot of us don't know about it. And so we got to get the information out. Thank you, Miss Shelley. We got to get this information out. And I feel like that this is my calling. This is my purpose. I've always been about people, and I love people. I've been doing prison ministry, and my chaplain is here. I've been doing prison ministry for 26 years. 26 years, going in, spending my time for free. And before the pandemic, we were going crazy, wasn't we? I was spending 40 hours a month at least in prisons, giving my time, telling folk, hey, you need to trust Jesus. And the only way you're going to survive when you get out, when those doors spring open, if you got something below your collarbone. And I'm still doing it today. But I told them yesterday, my white brothers too, they were sitting right there. And I said, I'm still going to love you because I'm commanded to love you. And I'm still going to help you. But my focus has shifted to the African Americans and the Africans around this world. Because if I don't do nothing about it, then I'm not operating in my calling. And you know, one of the things I talked about, I think I shared it on the live, that, you know, Moses was walking and he was tending the sheep because he was a shepherd. And he was walking around the mountain, right? And he saw this burning bush. He's like, what is going on with this bush? Because it's on fire, but it ain't consumed. It's still burning. It should have been burnt out by now. It should be ashes by now. And it's still going. And the Bible says he turned aside to see it closely. And the Lord told me, he said, you like that. That's a phenomenon. He said, you like that, and a lot of my people are like that. Because of the things that has been done to you, you should have been burnt up by now. You should be in the crazy house. You should be locked up and doing boo, 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 because of the stuff that you done been through. It's a phenomenon. And he says, God spoke to him out of the burning bush and said, hey, bro, take off your shoes because where you're standing is holy ground. And the Lord told me, he said, the shoes represent the pollution that you came out of. He said, take it off. I just finished reading a book with my group and a couple of groups that I'm in. We read the book Limitless by Jim Quick. And God told me about a year ago, he says, Antoine, I'm going to teach you how to process deeper. And I could probably find it on one of the lives, because I went live and I said, y'all, God told me he's going to teach me how to process deeper. And I was like, a couple of months went by and I'm like, Lord, I ain't processing no deeper. What's going on? But June of last year, I've been asking the Lord for a mentor for probably two years or so. But June of last year, I joined this group called the Morning Meetup. And shout out for my Morning Meetup crew that has joined in. I joined the Morning Meetup. And the Morning Meetup read 14 books on last year. And I joined it halfway, so I think I got 7 of them. But God, he started teaching me how to process deeper. And I learned that the more you expand your mind, your eyes and your ears start seeing and hearing what your mind is expanded to. And so right now, I'm expanding your mind on the blockchain and the plight of the African Americans. And you're going to start seeing and hearing some things that you never saw and heard before. Because we are always bombarded with information overload. And so 90% of the information we just shut down. We don't pay attention to it. But once our mind is opened up to it, we start paying attention to it. And so that's what I want to do. I want to expand our people's minds so that they will start seeing what's really going on. I'm on a mission to help African Americans, and I was working with an organization to open up a mall, Black Wall Street, and we haven't got it open yet. But I told my people, I said, hey, you know what? We got to look toward being held at a higher standard, because our people, we hold each other at a higher standard than anybody else. Just think about Tommy Hilfiger. Some of us still wear it. Some of us don't. Right? He came out and said something crazy, and we said we ain't buying nothing else from him. Right? I wish we do that about everything. We spend the most money. We're the biggest consumers on the planet, but yet we don't spend no money with each other. What if we start putting money with each other on the blockchain? How fast can we grow? We spend $1 trillion a year. What if we kept that in our own community and start building our schools? You know how they do schools, right? You know why our schools are so bad in our communities, right? Because they zoned it. The way they zoned it is that they use property taxes to pay for the schools. So if you live in a more affluent area, you're going to have a better school. So the whole system is designed to keep us down. With my blockchain, our main project is the water project. And matter of fact, we're in Houston, and Houston just got sued $2 billion. They lost a lawsuit for $2 billion because the water was so bad in Houston. But I read an article, and this is typical. The article said that most of that money is going to go to businesses that's in the community, but not to the residents, and making sure that their businesses have clean water. And so that's how they do us. That's how they do us. They'll put something out there like, hey, we're gonna help. We want to help. But guess what? It never moves the needle. They'll help us a little bit just to appease us. They'll give us a little bit just to appease us. Like putting A pacifier. I was gonna say sugar tip, but y'all might not be ready for that. A pacifier in our mouth to pacify us, to say, y'all are making some advances, y'all just chill out. But it ain't moving the poverty needle. It's not moving the poverty needle. So we got to do something. If we want to change, if we want a real change, we have to move the needle. And I know, and we some rough people to deal with. We stubborn. We don't trust, especially us. We don't trust. We really don't trust nobody, but we especially don't trust our own. So I got a major challenge up. But guess what? I'm up for the challenge. Why? My young man sitting right here got 2 sons. And his sons got to grow up in this environment. And he may be the next one, or they may, I'm not going to even speak that over their lives, but they'll be in trouble if I don't do something. The black man is almost extinct in our society. And a few of us that do succeed, there's some of us that do a lot, and God bless those that do. But some of us make so much money, we don't know what to do with, and we just being led. Like, hey, I want you to do this. I want you to do this. This is what you need. This is what you need. And we like, okay. And then we see they don't have nothing to show for it 5 years later after they get out the league. After they done made their major hit. Right? They're selling copies all over the world. But on the blockchain, you can make a record and put it on the blockchain, and every time someone downloads it, cha-ching, right into your digital wallet. And when you die, it'll go into your children's wallet or whoever you leave as a beneficiary, because it's locked in the blockchain. So that's what I need. I need some people to come on and jump on board and say, hey, you know what? I don't know too much about it, but I believe what you're saying and I feel what you're saying, and I want to learn more about it. And I'm learning too. I'm learning. But as I learned, the Lord told me when he saved me, he says, I want you to learn as though you're going to teach. I went to my pastor a couple of years later. I said, the Lord didn't call me to ministry. He said, what's your calling? I said, I don't know. He said, go back and ask him. So I went back to the Lord and I asked him, and he said, you remember when I told you, I want you to learn as though you're going to teach? You're a teacher. And I said, yes, Lord. So I'm a teacher. And he had already sent me to college to teach, to learn how to teach. And so that's what I am. That's my ministry. That's my calling. That's my purpose. And he's just constantly just bringing it on in. Come on in, Antoine. Come on in. I got something for you to do. So we're sitting in my studio right now. This is what we are. Dropping the Bucket Productions. And you know why it's called Dropping the Bucket? Because God says a nation is just a drop in the bucket for me. And so I believe God will give me a nation. I believe God will give me this world and allow me to make a difference in this world for a specific people. And whoever else want to join on the bandwagon, you're welcome. I'm not going to turn you away. But my focus is our people. And so, like I said, I want to do this every year. Yes. I want to do this every week. I said every year, every week. The blockchain that we're creating, we got the water project. We're going to be bringing clean water to the communities and around the world. One of the issues with the blockchain is that it's It has a heavy carbon imprint on the world. And so we're going to use renewable resources to build our blockchain and run our computers as much as possible. And so we're on a mission. We're on a mission, and we're going to have the gaming. We're going to have the NFTs. We're going to be in the metaverse. We're going to allow you to have a digital wallet. We're going to allow you to do your own crypto coin if you want to. If you want to start your own blockchain, that's cool. Come on, let's go. Because by the end of it, I'm going to know how to do it all. Or I'm going to have people on my team that can do it all. Because I don't have to know everything. I don't know everything. Don't want to know everything. But I know I want people around me that do. And collectively, we can do this thing. We can make a difference. We can move the needle. Because all this other stuff ain't doing nothing. It's good. It sounds good, look good, but it ain't really making a difference that we really need to make. So when I leave this earth, Lord willing, see, I'm not looking in it for a hole in the ground. I'm looking for a hole in the sky. I'm looking for him to split the sky open and say, come on up here, Antoine. That's what I'm looking for. But that's my hope and that's my desire. He said, and according to my hope and my earnest expectation, and nothing shall I be made ashamed. And so that I'm going to keep on moving. I'm going to keep on talking. I'm going to keep on sharing. I'm going to keep on learning. Every day I'm more valuable than I was yesterday. Why? Because I'm reading. I'm getting knowledge. This is another book I'm reading right now, Profit First. So I'm more valuable today than I was yesterday because I'm steadily learning. Some of us, we don't learn. Before my group, I didn't pick up a book. The Bible was the only book I picked up. But now I see the Bible differently. I'm processing the Bible deeper. Why? Because I'm opening my mind. I'm expanding. He said you only can minister at the level of your understanding, your competency. That's the only, you. And so if you increase your competency, you expand your territory, you expand your mental faculties, then you will process things deeper. And I said, yes, Lord, you've done it. And I thank you. I praise you for it. And so I'm putting you on this mission. And so I'm just, that's what I'm here to do. So any questions or anything like that, please feel free to ask questions. Otherwise, I'm going to let you go. And this is one of the best birthdays I've had because I was able to share and talk like a madman for a few minutes. Some very valuable information, I believe, and life-changing. So, all right. Well, God bless. And as I always say, I'll see you at the top. Bye for now.